It is 6:08. That means it's time to check in with Jim Ryan over there in Sochi. Jim, how are you today?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're great because, wow, the U.S. team is really starting to hit its stride, is it not? In fact, you've got some, Brian, we got a spoiler here. We should start right off.
Hold on. I want to put my fingers in my ears.
Situation. Men's giant slalom is looking pretty darn good for the Stars and Stripes, yes?
Well, it is at this moment anyway. They started it up this morning, the giant slalom. They had the first run. And Ted Ligety came out of it in first place and way ahead of the competition, nearly a full second ahead of the second-place finish. And, you know, in giant slalom, 1 second is an eternity. Bodie will not be medaling in that event. He's not going to get a medal. In fact, Tim Jidloff, in the second run, came out on top for a while. Jared Goldberg, the other American to watch, was near the top, but they've sort of been siphoned out now. But still, keep your eye on Ligety. He has not yet skied.
Don't want to jinx it, but, I mean, with a full second lead, I mean, barring a disaster, it looks like Ted Ligety is in a great place to take the gold.
Yeah, and he still has his second run to go. So, disasters do happen. People fall, people lose time. But let's hope that he can pull out the gold. That's what happened yesterday. David Wise, in the half-pipe ski competition, first time it's ever been held, walked away with the gold.
Yep. Brian, you can return to the land of the living here.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have my fingers in my ears.
Brian, I can. Done with the spoilers.
You're done. Okay, good. Hey, listen, Jim, I want to talk to you about the total medal count because I keep saying, of course, it changes all the time, and there have been some reports that the Americans are not doing so well. Where are we right now, at this very moment? Where are we in the medal count compared to the other nations of the world?
Tied for first place at 20, tied with the Netherlands.
Tied with the Netherlands. Now, of course, the Netherlands rack up all of these medals in the speed skating.
They came down with I think 3 in one day. So it's been sort of a three-way race the whole time between four-way really: U.S., Russians, the Netherlands, and Norway.
Yes.
But right now, it's the U.S. and the Netherlands in front with 20 apiece. The Russians with 19, and Norway back with 18.
And who has the most golds? Do you know that right offhand?
Sure. Germany does with 8. They have 8. Norway has 7. The United States has 6, and so do the Netherlands. So, we're still kind of in the hunt in both categories.
All right, good. I mean, that sounds like we're having a pretty good, Winter Olympics.
Yeah, there have been some disappointments. Bodie certainly wanted to walk away with a medal or two, and, he did get the one bronze that he'll show with Canada, but there have been some minor disappointments, I suppose.
Now, for those who like to sit around and watch paint dry, you might want to tune in today for the curling semifinals.
Hey, curling is taking the country by storm.
Curling. I don't get curling, but this is a big deal. We're down to the semifinals today, right?
We are, and unfortunately, I don't think either the men or the women from the U.S. will be taking part in that.
Isn't that a surprise? Because weren't they coming into the Olympics expected to do pretty well?
Well, yeah, and it's a growth kind of thing. Maybe 4 years from now they'll be looking stronger than they did, but they did okay. They competed, they gave it their best for the last week or so, and now they'll be headed home, and the rest of the teams will move forward.
And then, meanwhile, some of the what they like to call the premier sports, the premier events, are getting underway, especially women's figure skating. Now, that begins today?
It does. Figure skating, the women's short program is tonight. The Americans to watch there are Paulina Edmonds, Gracie Gold, and Ashley Wagner. They'll get it underway this evening. I think it's about 7 o'clock our time, 10 yours.
And Ashley Wagner, of course, is a local girl. She's from Northern Virginia. And last year, last Olympics, I should say, the U.S. did not medal, and that's the first time since the 60s. So high hopes on a resurgence for the U.S. figure skating team there, right?
Oh, absolutely. And any one of those three could do it. Gracie Gold was a shining star last week, and she may, in fact, come out on top again tonight.
See, this is the great thing about American athletes here, Brian, is that we have these graceful, beautiful, amazing athletes who look stunning on ice in figure skating, but we also have women who kick butt in something like bobsledding. Jim Ryan, I was shocked
women's
to see,
hockey.
Or women's hockey, for that matter. Let's start with bobsledding. Women's bobsledding team from the U.S. doing pretty well.
Yeah, not bad. Elena Myers, Lauren Williams are at the front of the pack in terms of that. Jamie Grubel, AJ Evans. Now, here's the name you'll remember, Lolo Jones. Remember her
from track and field, and I understand there's some controversy about her being on the team.
Yeah, people are wondering what she put on there because she brings a little star. style or a little bit of name recognition to it. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, they've done okay. They had a heat this morning, and then this evening they'll have their finals.
Yeah, I want to turn to the issue of security, because you know what? I can't tell you the number of stories we did before these Olympics began about the concerns about security and how security was going to be an onerous burden, and that it wasn't a matter of if there was going to be some kind of terrorist attack. It was a matter of when. You know
That's
what?
It looked like.
I mean, none of it has come true.
You're right. And maybe the security has been tight enough that all of that was prevented if things had been planned and if things had been carried out. It could be that it was stopped. But you're right. I mean, the talk of security sort of faded away as soon as the competition started. But I think that in terms of the people who are watching the games, the police officers, the security forces around it, they're as alert and vigilant as they ever were. But and maybe that's the point of it. If they can stay out of the way, stay unobtrusive, they can prevent things, and they can also, provide a comfortable atmosphere for the observers here.
U.S. men's hockey team is back on ice today. This is the medal rounds quarterfinals playing the Czech Republic. Now, the Czech Republic did not have the day off. They had to play Slovenia yesterday, correct? And so they're
That's
a little
right.
tired.
Yeah. I mean, the more tired, the better, I guess, is for Team USA. You're right, and this is the one that really counts for a lot because it moves either the U.S. forward or moves Slovakia forward. U.S. has won its first three matches, as you know, the 7-1 triumph over Slovakia, preceded by beating Russia, and then the 3-2 after the penalty shootout, and then they beat Slovenia. Now, it's the Czech Republic. They're playing the Czech Republic today, you know.
Yes.
They've won two of their matches. They've lost two, so their record is certainly not as strong as the United States at this point, but again, anything can change at the drop of the puck.
That game is a little later today. By the way, a lot of players on that Czech Republic team are from the NHL, so a lot of these players know each other.
Yeah.
And the winner will play either Canada or Latvia. So this is setting up for a semifinal game between USA and Canada in men's ice hockey. That could be exciting.
Just like the one we're going to have tomorrow.
All right, Jim Ryan, always
Thank
good to
you,
hear
Jim.
from you. Things are heating up in Sochi. I get very excited as the U.S. hockey team gets
you
closer.
really like
I do
these
love the
Olympics.
winter